It's incumbent on every major Filipino family to have a bank as a side business.
Used to be, not now.
But how did your family come to own a bank?
When we were a smaller retailer before, we used to have a lot of coins. You know, I mean, in our transactions, by the end of the day, because we are not there's not much credit card in the past, and a lot of the currencies in terms of coins, we always have difficulty with the banks because they don't want to receive the coins. So we thought, my dad thought that maybe we should have a bank that will serve like a cashier, deposit the coins in the savings bank, and then deposit it with the commercial bank. So it started that way, and we thought that we have a lot of suppliers at that time, and maybe we could have some banking relationship with some of our suppliers, and also perhaps in the futures to work with the consumer. So it started that way, and then it was not managed by us. It was somebody, other groups managing it.
The bank was not managed.
Yeah, no. It was actually managed by the BPI people.
And well, your number one enemies, right?
No, they are not. No, we're good friends. As a matter of fact, we work well together. No, at that time, they decided to buy the whole bank as part of their network. It was a small savings bank, just a few branches. And so, but because of the desire to have somebody get all the coins deposit, that was in the late 70s, my father thought of retaining the bank. And so we get some professional bankers to handle it. And for one reason, sometime in the 80s, one of our executives enticed me to be with the bank, and I was just observing. I was observing the bank, and soon after that, I find myself getting more and more involved. But during those times, I was not really interested in the banking area. My interest was zero. But I just started observing, and then in the 90s, I thought, this is not what, you know. If this is the business that we have, and it stays only that way, I don't think we should be in the banking area. By that time, our retail division has already grown, and we have shopping centers already. But I thought of taking the challenge. We were almost selling our bank to another bigger bank, but the price was not good. So we just thought, well, we will linger on and see. Maybe there will be a good price that will come along someday. And as we go into that, something was always bothering me at that time, and I thought, this is not the way to do business. It's just a medium-sized bank. We are neither here or there, but life was comfortable. We had good, well, you know, there was no risk, not much risk. We had a lot of mortgage, but you know, something tells me that was not the end game. So So what we did is we reworked on the organizations for 3 years, and I think that was the time that I met you. So we were quiet, just doing the organizations for 3 years. But we have an objective in our mind. We said after 3 years, we would have to leap. And that is what I saw in the graph, that 3 years ends in 2000. So after that, we start acquiring a small bite-sized bank. And so up to 2004, we thought, well, the market is very bad. 2003 was a bad time in the Philippines. So we made an investment in EPCI, which was number 2 or 3 at that time. It was a big bank. It was mergers of Equitable Bank and PCI Bank. And it was a bad investment, and we had, you know, it was a very acrimonious one. We had a lot of boardroom bottles.
That took a few years.
That took 2.5 years, and I would not wish that on anyone, because it was really bad. It was we had to be scrutinized by our Senate. We had to have for more than a year. We had bad press in the paper, and all because we were a medium-sized bank trying to acquire some shares in the bigger bank. And so after a while, well, things settled down, when we thought, well, we can't do anything. We cannot even sell sell our shares because nobody wants to buy into a bank that has a lot of problems. And the banks actually has not been growing for about 2 years as well because of all of the problems in the board. And so
this is equitable PCI.
Equitable PCI.
Yeah. Which was a larger institution than yours.
Much larger. It's about 2 times more.
And you were the only woman in that whole.
I didn't think it was, I didn't think there was any.
And
I was not
at that time
conscious.
in the Philippines was such a benign, gentlemanly business.
Oh yeah,
and
it was a big boys club.
It was very rude of you to go in and try and make a bid for a very large institution, and then to give the suggestion that you can actually run it better, basically.
No, I didn't even offer that propositions. We were just looking into investment into a bank so that perhaps in the futures we would be able to increase our stake. Because in the past we were only on the bite-sized acquisitions. We have about, I think, 6 at that time. So we were just looking into investment and thought that maybe one of this day we might be able to merge. And I did talk to the major stockholder and asked him whether it would be good for us to merge before I actually made any investment. And he thought I was joking, so he said, yes, anytime, we can always merge. He thought I was joking, and I thought he was serious. So we went into it. And I did not know that he did not like me in. So, and after that also, I think it was a bank that a lot of other big boys were interested in, right. Because PCI Bank was a known institutions good for many very good institutions, especially for investment banking.
Equitable is good in credit cards. Yeah.
Equitable is good in credit card, and they are good in the middle market. So one has the corporate and one has the middle market, and most of them, I guess, are waiting for the right time to go in, not knowing that I got in through other means and through some shares. And they were all, I would say, many of them were hoping that I would fail, and I thought so too. But in the end, when the dust settled down, we all thought of just going back to the table and say, okay, this is how, maybe this is how we should do it. And I had to really bite the bullet. I asked the family to support me, bite the bullet, and then we went in. And after that, everything, with the board, things settled down. And then we had to go into integrations, which our organizations was, I would say, quite good. In 2 years, we were able to integrate at least 3 banks, because the first merger of Equitable and PCI was never really completed. One is a corporate bank, one is a medium-sized bank and well entrenched in the Chinese market. And as Banco de Oro, we were just a medium-sized bank, but we were hungry. So we were able to merge the 3 cultures together. It took about 1 year of physical integrations and maybe another year of refinement. And right now we're all BDO.
Now, in just listening to you describe the M&A part of the career, was that your hardest corporate?
Yes, it's something I would not wish on anyone.
Right.
It's really 2.5 years of, it was enough to write a book, but I will not do that because there's just too many things that had happened at that time. But we are, the thing is, in the end, all of us are good friends, really good friends. And while we were very acrimonious in the past, very adversarial, and we do business together now.